If your compost pile feels like it's taking forever, you're not alone. Gardeners everywhere start a pile with excitement, only to stare at the same heap of scraps months later, wondering why nothing seems to be happening. The truth is, the traditional set-it-and-forget-it approach, where you throw scraps in a pile and wait, is a century-old trap. Left unmanaged, your beautiful kitchen scraps don't transform into rich soil food. They just sit there, slowly rotting away, without ever reaching the true potential of living active compost. A compost pile is meant to be alive, but too often, what gardeners build is little more than a slow, stinky storage bin. Without balance and attention, those fruit peels, coffee grounds, and yard clippings can turn into a cold, soggy mess that attracts pests instead of nourishing your soil. Many gardeners assume patience alone will solve the problem, but without the right conditions, your compost never truly cooks. Instead of thriving, it simply decays at a snail's pace. This perpetual pile problem happens because compost is not magic, it's science. It's a living process driven by microbes, air, and the delicate balance of carbon and nitrogen. Let's talk about the villains that keep your pile from becoming black gold. The first culprit is an unbalanced carbon to nitrogen ratio, or C to N. Think of greens like food scraps, grass clippings, and coffee grounds as nitrogen-rich. Browns like dried leaves, straw, and shredded cardboard are carbon-rich. Too much green, and your pile turns slimy and smelly. Too much brown, and it sits there like dry mulch, refusing to break down. The key is balance, roughly 2 to 3 parts brown for every 1 part green. The second saboteur is lack of aeration. Microbes are living creatures, and they need oxygen to survive. If your pile is packed too tightly or left untouched, oxygen disappears, and instead of thriving microbes, you invite anaerobic bacteria. That's when compost smells rotten, like a swamp. Third, we have missing microbes. Compost doesn't just happen, it's powered by a community of fungi, bacteria, and invertebrates. If you start a pile in a sterile way, say only kitchen scraps without a base of soil, old compost, or leaf mold, you may not have the microbial army to kickstart decomposition. And finally, there's the issue of temperature. A cold pile doesn't compost, it just rots. For decomposition to accelerate, your pile needs to heat up to at least 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, or 55 to 70 degrees Celsius. This not only speeds up the breakdown, but also kills weed seeds and harmful pathogens. Now, here's the good news. You don't have to wait years for compost. By adopting a few acceleration secrets, you can transform your scraps into rich compost in just weeks. The first secret is the hot compost method. By layering the right ratio of greens and browns, moistening them just enough, and turning your pile regularly, you can generate enough heat for rapid breakdown. A properly managed hot compost pile can finish in as little as 18 days. The second secret is the layering game. Always think of your pile like a lasagna, a layer of greens, followed by 2 to 3 layers of browns, with a sprinkle of water if needed. Moisture is crucial. Your pile should feel like a wrung-out sponge, damp but not dripping. This rhythm of greens, browns, and water feeds microbes evenly and prevents imbalance. Third, master aeration innovations. Turning your pile with a fork or compost aerator tool every few days breathes life into it. If you don't want to turn a pile constantly, insert perforated PVC pipes or sturdy sticks vertically through the pile, so air circulates without effort. Oxygen is the fuel microbes crave. Once your compost is breaking down properly, you'll want to know when it's ready. The sniff test is the easiest indicator. Good compost should smell earthy, sweet, and alive. If it smells sour, ammonia-like, or rotten, it needs more air or balance. Another key step is sifting. Finished compost will be dark, crumbly, and uniform. But sometimes, larger pieces, like sticks, eggshells, or avocado pits, remain. By sifting your compost, you separate the black gold from the unfinished bits, which can simply go back into the next pile to finish breaking down. Finally, it's time to feed your garden. Compost is more than just fertilizer, it's a soil builder. Adding a layer to your garden beds improves soil structure, boosts water retention, and increases microbial life. Instead of dumping synthetic fertilizers that wash away, compost provides slow-release nutrients and creates resilient living soil that can support healthy crops year after year. At the heart of it all, composting isn't just about waste management, it's about participating in nature's cycle. When you see compost as a living process rather than a dumping ground, your pile transforms. You're not just throwing scraps in a heap, you're curating a habitat for microbes that will, in turn, feed your plants. So the next time your pile feels stuck, don't give up. Remember the villains: imbalanced carbon to nitrogen, lack of air, missing microbes, and low temperature, and then apply the acceleration secrets. With a little attention, your compost won't just sit there, it will come alive. Stop killing your compost. Build it right, feed it balance, breathe life into it, and let it transform into the black gold that your soil is craving.